Hi everyone. In this video, I'm going to show how to integrate our current Citrix infrastructure or IT infrastructure with the Citrix Cloud. I'll show you different scenarios. The first one is Citrix virtual apps and desktops on-premises deployment. This is one of the important services in Citrix virtual apps and desktops, and this is on-premise deployment. In on-premises deployment, the customer or the client would take care of everything. Okay, so customer has his own data center, all servers, and customer manages those servers in those data centers. So if you see here, these are the end users and they're connecting from different devices, and this is the access layer. This is gateway service, and this is storefront server. And when it comes to control layer, we have database, Citrix Studio, Citrix license server, Citrix director machine, or Citrix director tool. And if you see resources here, we have Windows applications, Linux applications, and pooled Windows desktop. So all these components are managed by the customer, because this is on-premise deployment. This is on-premise deployment. Customer manages everything. Okay. So now let's go to the next diagram. Okay, if you see here, this is the second diagram. It is Citrix virtual apps and desktops hybrid deployment. If you remember the previous video, hybrid cloud means customers would have some components in their environment, and customers can make use of the Citrix Cloud or any other cloud provider. So if you see here, users layer, user is here and user is connecting from different devices. Access layer, we have gateway service and Citrix storefront server. And if you see the control layer here, we have virtual apps and desktops, and you have desktop delivery controller or controller, where you have Citrix Studio Console, Citrix license server, director console, and SQL database. All these components are under control layer. But if you see resource layer now, resource layer has been moved to cloud providers. This is Microsoft Azure, this is Amazon Web Services, this is Citrix Hypervisor. So in the previous picture, everything is managed by the customer or the business. If you see here, we have given, we are hosting Windows applications, Linux applications, and Windows desktops in different cloud providers. It could be Azure or Amazon Web Services or Google Cloud or any other hypervisor. Okay, this is Citrix hypervisor. So let me go to the last one. Okay, so this is the last picture. Citrix virtual apps and desktops, Citrix cloud deployment. So this is the important thing. If you see here, users are connecting from different devices. If you see here, access layer, we have workspace and gateway service. Let me scroll down. See, now here if you see the picture Citrix cloud here, because now customer has the option to move this component. Previously we saw storefront, which is now workspace in Citrix Cloud. So we have gateway service in Citrix Cloud. So if you want to move these two components, to Citrix Cloud, they become workspace and gateway service. So this is part of Citrix Cloud now. So if customers are interested, they can move these two components. They can use these two services which are part of Citrix Cloud now. Okay, now previously we had desktop delivery controller, studio, license server, director, database. Everything is managed by the customer itself. Now if you see here, Citrix Cloud, it is called virtual apps and desktops service, and it is in Citrix Cloud. So what is actually happening is, now we have an option to move all these database, desktop delivery controller, license server, studio, director, all these components to Citrix Cloud, which is virtual apps and desktop service. So previously when customer has a Citrix environment, customers need to take care of all these components: license server, database, controllers, directors, studio, license server. So we need to hire Citrix administrators, and they have to make sure that all these servers are up and running fine, make sure all security patches are applied, software is up to date, and it is a lot of job for the people to make sure that the service is up and running fine all the time, because in Citrix environment you have different teams working and they could be performing different activities anytime, and when activities happen, it may impact Citrix infrastructure as well. So when you move all these components to Citrix Cloud, this is going to be managed by Citrix Cloud itself. All these components are now moved to Citrix Cloud, and Citrix makes sure that we have 99.99.9 uptime. Uptime means all this Citrix Cloud makes sure that all these infrastructure components are up and running fine without any issue. So Citrix Cloud would take care of infrastructure component. They make sure that all the software and security patches are up to date. Okay, now if you see here, the resource layer, if you see here, you have something called Cloud Connector. So this part is also very important, because the VMs or the virtual machines or Linux applications or any applications, you can install them. You can have those virtual machines or video machines in your data center, in your on-premise data center, or if you want to move it to Azure Cloud or Amazon Web Services or Google Cloud or any other cloud service provider, you can also host those applications in the cloud as well, because you are a business and you don't want to buy the space, and you don't want to have any data centers, and you don't want to manage these servers. So you are also interested to move your virtual desktops or applications to the cloud. So this part is managed by Citrix Cloud, and this part can be managed by your organization. If you have your own data centers, if the clients or customers have their own data centers, they can manage it. Otherwise, they can move all these virtual machines or applications to the cloud, Microsoft Azure or Google Cloud or any other cloud service provider. But in order for the Citrix Cloud to communicate with your resource location, this is called resource location, resource layer. In order for the Citrix Cloud to communicate with the resource location, you need to have cloud connectors installed. We are going to discuss in the coming videos. So if you have this in your own data center, if you have this setup in your own data center, you need to have this cloud connector installed. But if you have the same setup, if you have the setup in the cloud, if you have decided to move your applications or the virtual desktops to the cloud, you need to make sure that cloud connectors to be installed, because these cloud connectors would always communicate with the Citrix Cloud. They communicate with the Citrix Cloud all the time. Okay, it's like a communication channel between your resources and the Citrix Cloud component. So Citrix Cloud connector needs to be installed. If you have in your on-premise data center, you need to have a couple of cloud connectors. But if you have decided to host these applications or desktops in the cloud, you need to have cloud connectors installed to make it work properly. So this is Citrix Cloud. Okay, this is Citrix Cloud, and I hope you find this information helpful. In the coming videos, I'll be covering more details on this. All right, thank you for watching. I will catch you in the next video. Bye bye.